Hi there and welcome back. So today I'm going to be reviewing some items that I picked up a couple weeks ago and been trying ever since from BH Cosmetics. And if you don't know, BH Cosmetics is kind of one of those leading brands that are discounted that really for the most part perform extremely well. And I started trying them back in January. Kind of didn't believe the hype, and now I'm kind of on the train because they really do put out some great quality products for a minimal price, which is great for everybody's pocketbook. But what I'm going to be reviewing is the Nude Rose lip glosses that were released. And from what I understand, there's 9 colors. They're supposed to be ultra shiny, glossy, one swipe kind of lip gloss, which is always nice, so you're not using a lot of product. And so what I'm going to do is swatch them and then give my final analysis and the experiences that I've been having with them. So let's do this. So these come in a regular package like this. It's kind of a rose gold color with the Nude Rose logo on the front. You know, decent packaging. Outside, this is what it looks like. It's just the rose gold topper there, and then the writing in the same color. You know, very simple design, but that's not what you're here for. Had to get my mirror. So let's start with the lightest. So the first one I'm going to start out with is Pixie, and here's the doe foot in case you want to see what that looks like. It's pretty wide. It's a wide doe foot. Works well, very little movement. I know with some there is movement. With this there is not. So this is Pixie. It's one of the lightest pinks of the group. I think this is a color that would work with a lot of different skin tones, skin types, you know, warm, cool. I think it's just kind of across the board, so it's very user-friendly pink. It does have a little bit of a white base to it, but it's not too distracting like some white bases where you're like, ooh. You know, it's not really obvious. It's a nice color. So the next color is Marilyn, which is kind of a pinky, almost like gold tone to it. You can see it right here. And that's Marilyn. So it's very much like a peachy gold color. I've actually worn this one a few times. It is obviously a little bit more warm tone, but I actually think even still it's pretty user friendly for most. Even if you are cool tone, I've used it, I've made it work. It's fabulous. It's actually one of my favorites of the collection, especially for this time of year. It's just kind of throw on and go, which I'm a big fan of. So the next color is another pink. It is called Fairy. So this one is definitely more pink than the last one. It's almost like a coral pink color. It again does have that white base to it, so if you're not a big fan of it, if you're not a big fan of that type of look, this may not be your favorite. I think it is really pretty, but it is very much a Barbie pink, so you may not be into that, you may. I think it's really fabulous for this time of year. You know, it's very much a throw on and go with like minimal eye look, but then you got the shock of the lips. So the next color is Hepburn, which is kind of like this bronzy, light bronzy kind of gold color. You can see some of the flecks in there. Again, this is Hepburn. So it is kind of a coppery, actually a coppery kind of bronze color. It is really great. Obviously it's a little bit more warm tone, but it's a really nice color. I think it would especially be fantastic for fall. So this is Hepburn. So next up is Josie, but it is like a purpley pink color with a little bit of like blue and gold in there. It's really complex and quite nice. I've worn this one actually quite a lot. So as you can tell, it's one of my favorites. And there's the doe foot in case you want to see that. This is Josie. Love this color. It's just such a beautiful color. I've worn it a few times. Just easy to throw on, such a user-friendly color. Yes, it is more cool tone, but it's just lovely. I think it would work on so many different people though, and it's one of the only purpley pink colors of the group. I wish there would have been a lighter one, but it's just absolutely beautiful. So the next color is Charming, a kind of like pinkish coral color. And this is Charming. This is such a pretty color. It just really is. It is a little bit more warm tone, but it is just such a pretty color. If you just want to do an easy kind of eye look or an easy face look and then throw this on and go, head to the beach, whatever you do during the summer, this is perfect. The next one is Alexa, which is very similar to Charming, but this one is a little bit more cool tone, but very, very similar to the last one, which was Charming. Alexa. So yes, it definitely is a little bit more cool tone because it has a little bit more of a bluish undertone to it, which is great because that way if Charming doesn't work for you, you can go for Alexa, and you can see that though Alexa is a little bit darker than Charming, so they're different enough that it would be great to pick up both. But again, if you're more cool tone, go with Alexa. If you are more warm tone, go with Charming. They are very, very similar to each other, but they just have the different kind of finishes that work better for your skin tone. I love them both. I would make them both work, but just a little FYI in case you're on a budget and don't want to buy them all. And down to the final two. The next one is Gwen, which is kind of like an orangey red color. This is Gwen. Such a pretty color. As you can see though, this is a gloss, like a deep hardy gloss. I mean, the color is just there. And it is more of like an orangish red, so obviously it is a little bit more warm tone. But it's just fabulous, and it definitely is a statement piece. Now I did want to point out that the staining is real in between. Yeah, so that's why I started with the lighter color. So even though they are a gloss, just know there is going to be some leftover. So the last one is Lizabeth, which is kind of a brick red with the Z, not an S. That's right. The Z is the more classical way of spelling. The S is the more modern. Fun fact. Yeah. So here you go. And this is the darkest of the collection. So this is Lizabeth. Yes, this one is no joke. It is very pigmented, very dark. To me, this and Gwen, the last two, are a little bit more for at the end of summer, heading into fall or way into fall type colors. This one is more of kind of like a neutral type red. It definitely works for me. I can see it working for a lot of different skin tones and warm or cool tones. I just think it's a very user-friendly color, but it wouldn't be a color I would go to at this time of year just because it is a little bit darker, that along with Gwen. But yeah, you can see they're extremely pigmented. So my opinions on the collection, I really like them. They are really affordable. They're $5.99 regularly, so I think they're on sale right now, but there's always a sale going on at BH Cosmetics, which is just fantastic. There's very few products that I have used that I have been disappointed with. I would say the majority of the products I've been extremely happy with, and I was happy to pick these up, and I haven't really been disappointed. I have been wearing mostly the lighter colors, like Marilyn and Josie are the two that I've been going for more so, but I'm going to start trying out now that we're heading at the end of June, heading into July. We're deep in the middle of summer, so I most likely will start venturing into the more brighter lip colors that come with summer. And I love these, and the reason I love these is because they are extremely pigmented. As you can see, when I was wiping it off of my lips, there still was a lot of pigment there, even when the gloss had started to wipe away, which is just fantastic. It does claim it's a one swipe. Yes, it is. These aren't, like, some glosses are really easy to work with in that they don't have a lot of pigmentation. You just kind of just throw them on and go, and you can definitely do that with the more light colors. But what I will say is that these, you have to have a little bit better application with the darker colors, because it will be obvious if you do not stay within the lines. So these are extremely pigmented. Being that they are a gloss, if there's wind and your hair gets in your face, or you're drinking out of a cup or eating, just be wary, because there is a possibility that the gloss can go outside of the lines of your lips later on if you are not careful. And it is very pigmented. It's not to say that the gloss isn't very, it doesn't stay in place, but it is a gloss. It's not a matte lipstick. It's not a lipstick. You know, it has a wet consistency that a gloss does. Now, that being said, it's not like a cheap consistency. I know there's some drugstore brands where I'll buy the gloss and it's just almost so watery that you just know it's not going to last more than 30 minutes to an hour. This is not the case, and I have worn these, and they will last you a few hours with no touch-up, as long as you're not like eating a full lunch. You know, if you're eating, it's going to come off a lot faster, of course, but if you're just going through the day doing your thing, sipping through a straw, they're going to last you a good 2 to 4 hours easily before having to do a touch-up. Another thing is that there is a slight scent to these, and at first I couldn't quite place it, and then eventually it hit me, and I kind of had to laugh. They kind of taste, or not taste, but they kind of smell like penicillin. I know, it's true. Everybody's like, what? It's true. The only reason I say this is because when I was younger, I had to take penicillin. I think I ended up getting pneumonia at around 7 or something. I know, it's a horrible story. And they gave me penicillin, and it turned out I was allergic. And that's how I found out. Good times. And so for some reason, that smell still sticks with me. And that's what this smells like. It has sort of a penicillin scent to it. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just taken me back to 7 years old, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. But if you really don't like scents and products, this may be a bit much to you, because it's on your lips and right under your nose. So you may not be into it. It actually doesn't bug me. My nose got used to it over time, but you may not want to get used to the scent. So it most definitely does have one. I mean, you may not see it like that. I mean, maybe it does. It just reminds me of that. Yeah, it really does. Or maybe like a sweet tart, like with the twist. Maybe that's a friendlier way of saying it, but it does definitely have a scent. But I think it's a nice spectrum of colors. Like I said, I wish they had put a little bit more purpley or purpley pinks in there, or more of like a silvery kind of color. But you know, that's just my own opinion. You may be happy with it, and it really is a decent price. You really can't go wrong. I know sometimes BH Cosmetics will take a percentage off, or they'll do the buy one get one free, and that's when I got these, was the buy one get one free. So $5.99 basically. Less than that, because that's split in half. So that is a freaking deal for something that lasts really well. So yes, these are really a great quality lip gloss, especially for the price, especially because I got it half price. So basically $3 a piece. Are you kidding me? And look, you know, it's a decent sized amount, and the pigmentation is fantastic. The color selection's pretty decent, and the wear time for a gloss is really good. The only thing is that the smell can be a little bit overbearing sometimes, but if you can get past that, you are a lucky woman. And I think this is a big thumbs up. As usual, BH Cosmetics does not disappoint. So that is my review on the Nude Rose collection from BH Cosmetics. Let me know if you picked any of these up, or what your favorite brands are, and maybe I will look into them and do some swatching. So until next time, have a fabulous day. Bye.